What's up? JP in the house. Right now I'm just cruising around. Wow, I can't believe it. That should be an intro video, huh? We always talk on my phones. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and share. Hit the notification buttons for new videos that pop up here and there. And if you like the content, please support me on paypal.me/GS35JPN or at the Bitcoins down in the description. So lately, there's a lot of things going on in the States, and it's really sad, but for various reasons and stuff like that. A lot of people want the police stations to change. I was watching different people who had comments to say, very emotional about what the law enforcement agencies are doing to black men. And a lot of people are, I think a lot of black people, I'm not saying I'm smart in the law. I had a chance to learn it for free pretty much downtown Los Angeles. I think they have a library down there near the police station or somewhere. And I went down there and went in and read a couple of books. Well, just went through a few pages, and someone told me that I can go down there and read every last one of the books for free. And I was going to do that. I don't know why I didn't do it. I just felt like maybe it was a waste of bus money, but I didn't do it, but I should have. I had a lot of chances I passed up in the States. But I think a lot of black people really need to learn the laws. Voting, at the federal level anyway, for the president. I'm sure we all know that our popular vote doesn't count for much, because the electoral is their votes that actually pick who's the next president. And there are cases when they go with the popular vote, but there are times when it doesn't happen. If you want to change the police station and what's going on, you're going to have to do that at the local level, at your city levels, and make those, find those laws, study those laws, and put yourselves in there, vote yourselves in there, because there's enough of you to do that, especially in the communities where it's mostly black. You can easily put a black person up there, whatever. But there's another, another thing that's going on too, and it's a buddy system. You work with let's say in the police department or whatever. They got their buddies who they gonna protect, and you hurt one of them, some other ones in there may not take that so lightly. And it's like gangbanging. It's almost the same thing. The camaraderie, the loyalty, you guys, it's almost the same, and like a family, and you have to deal with those issues too. And in the police department, I am sure, there's been videos about it and stuff, that when one police says something that hurt one person, he's, it's that blue line thing, I think it's called. And it's not something that's light, it's a serious issue. And let's say, even though you have good cops in there, are those good cops? Are those good cops are there enough of them to protect each other when they inform or do the right thing for the bad ones? Whoever is the commander-in-chief, the captain, and those different positions, are they, which team are they on, or are they going to stay neutral? Because jobs nowadays, people want their retirement, people just want to get through life, and there are bad ways and there are good ways to do it, but it can be done. And with us blacks, I think we need to start really having meetings and talking about how we can engage with the police. I mean, like before, I said to a friend, I said before a long time ago, I'm sure I said in one of my videos, what you need to do is go down to your police station, have a city meeting or whatever with the chiefs, and just straight ask them, are we your enemies? Period. You need to ask questions like that. Why is it that when a white person shoots people and still have their gun in their hands, that you don't kill them, but you do that to black people? Now, of course, it's not that black and white, because there are a lot of white people, white men also, who are dying at the hands of the police also for whatever reasons, but it's not shown on the news so much, or national news anyway, because I guess it's not important, and I'm sure the majority of the people in the United States probably don't want to see anything like that. Now, it might be on the local news maybe, but not on the I don't know what you call it now. You might see it on YouTube and stuff like that, but those questions are needed to be asked. Why is it that a white cop? But I mean, there's, I ain't gonna lie, it goes on both sides, but it's just what gets shown on TV is what people respond to. But on the real, it's not even about what's on TV. I mean, people, regardless of who you are getting hurt. Black men are dying, getting shot up and stuff like that. And I wouldn't say shot up, but shot and stuff. But that's a real issue. And what black psychiatrists, sociologists, and those people who are dealing with human mental situations and who have degrees need to start writing books, educating, going down to the city hall, present a thesis or your job or whatever, a plan that you can go into these police departments and change what's going on, because there are a lot of stuff in there that's going on that really needs to be changed and get paid for it. Had the city pay you $10 million, $20 million, $50 million, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and to go in there and change what's going on in the police office. The first thing that needs to be asked is, why is it that a white cop is more scared of a black man than it is a white cop, and a lot of them might say it's not hatred. They might not be scared, but I know a lot of them are, a lot of them are when they with their friends and stuff, or it's according to how big they are and if the other guy's little, but a lot of them probably are just scared and stuff like that, and but then there's also this hatred or dislike. I don't mean to go to too many extremes, but it's there, and the questions need to be asked. Well, how many of you here hate black men? How many of you here hate, dislike black men? What happened in your youth with black people? How did you grow up? What did you think about black people and stuff like that? And when you get and it should be an anonymous survey, that people should be able to write or, right there, in those meetings, get an answer. And then, because, when you do it in secret, then the truth, people are prone to tell the truth, okay? And it should be mandatory for everyone to participate. And you'll be able to see who's, who cares and who don't care, But, and then you'll be able to see which departments have what kind of thought processes and things like that. But inside of police stations, just like in the family, you got those who are more favorable and those who are not more favorable, and those who just can't say nothing, and those who have power and those who don't. So it'll give a good description of and I mean, this from the commander on down should take these, because they're city workers, okay? It's not like they're private hire and stuff. They're city workers, and those surveys should be mandatory. And also the whoever the leader of the unions should, have, that person also should take that survey also. But like I said, it'll just give you a good overall view of what's going on. Now, I saw in the news that the mayor of Compton is requesting the records for all of the police, I guess, so she can go through because of the recent beating and stuff, and stuff like that. And with some brother, I won't say they beat him down, but they kind of roughed him up when it was. I wouldn't say they even roughed him up, but they said, it felt like it looked like he was just manhandled too much. But I mean, you got a skinny guy, and you got these guys that's over 200 pounds or whatever on you. You can't breathe. It's not even about you can't breathe because of the neck. You can't breathe because of the muscles. Your muscles or your lungs cannot expand and what's the opposite of expand? I forgot. I can't even think right now. But they are not able. I should go this way. I messed up. Darn it. But they're not able to. How can I say that? Your lungs aren't able to inhale and exhale because of the weight of the police force, the police, or the weight that's on them. And that's how a lot of guys die. And it's not even about the neck, because when you put too much pressure on the neck, which especially with your knee, you're gonna break somebody's neck, and that's the biggest thing too. They had a video with this one bro. He was on some dude's neck, some Latino guy's neck, and it was a sad thing that happened. But I mean, those things need to be addressed, and it's really kind of sad that none of those isn't. Now, and when the George Floyd thing came out and they showed the videos, then it was able to, that one guy, he said, it was mechanic stress or something, pressure that was on the guy's body, that anyone could tell that the lungs would not be able to expand, to be able to breathe, expand and draw in that oxygen, and that's how he died. So those things need to be addressed. Then you got a lot of police officers out there who are fat and overweight, and from the video I saw when they shot that guy in the back, those guys were overweight. When you're overweight, you lose a lot of, you're just out of shape, and because you're out of shape, then you got to resort to other non-natural sources of force. And so, had they both been in shape, one could have easily grabbed another, could have grabbed him by his neck and choked him out. You know what I'm saying? Could have just easily choked him out, like what happened in I think it was Disneyland or Magic Mountain, maybe Disneyland, where this one brother got, I don't know, something happened, and then his, something happened. But anyway, he was mad and stuff. And I think 3 white guys. He was like 6'6" or something. I don't know. He was really tall, really big brother. And had the cops been there, I don't know. They probably ain't no telling what would have happened. Probably wouldn't have been as heroic as those 3 white men. And what I mean by heroic is that they saw a situation, they calmed it down without using any deadly or bodily force to hurt or injure the brother. And what happened was they grabbed him from behind, 3 of them, and kind of like got him, wrestled him down a little bit. One guy put a chokehold on him. He passed out. They left. Okay, because of course they on video, but it was good what they did, because had, like I said, had the police shown up, it's no telling what would have happened. I don't think, those police officers would have been as heroic as those 3 white dudes did. And I don't think they would have thought just to run up on them and put them in a chokehold, And I mean by the chokehold is not the one around your neck like what happened in New York, or you see in Spike Lee's movies and stuff like that. But I mean the chokehold where you can put people to sleep. And I know, of course, it's not always easy to do it and stuff, but it was just cool how those brothers did. I mean, not those brothers, but we all one family, right? But anyway, it was good how those white guys did that, and it was like real smooth. It was like, I swear, it was the way they did it. It was almost like if they rehearsed it, which is really interesting. They just went over there, grabbed him up. One dude put him in a sleep chokehold. He passed out, and they walked away. The guy woke up. He was still a little irate, but I think it did calm him down a lot, because when you get choked out like that, and you don't know who did it, it's a scary thing. It's like somebody getting popped and getting knocked out, and then you wake up. It's like, however long you've been out, anything could have happened to you, because you're just there helpless and stuff. But how can I say that? But that's what we need to do, because there are elements in societies and governments and work, even in your home, even in the homes, those elements don't want you got the favorites and you got the undesirables, the desirables and the undesirables. And sorry about that. And that's a reality, in every household. Even in my household, it was like that, so it was like that, and those things got to be weeded out. Now, how are you going to weed out history, that's been taught in the United States, that white men are number one and black men are nothing? And it's funny, because there are other groups of people in the United States, Chinese, and you got the Latinos and stuff like that, but it's always a black and a white man thing. Why is it not a black and a Chinese man thing, or Thai person's thing, or Mexican person thing, and whatever, And so why is it that we are the ones who they got their feet on our necks the hardest, So, and I'm not saying it's everyone, they are just those who are participating in that. But I have made some audio recordings to a friend, and basically what I said was, and I've said this before in my videos, is that what we're going through is just a direct result of what we went through, what the Moors did up in Spain. They ruled from 700 AD pretty much to 1555, I believe. That was their last, where they just totally lost all their power. I think it was 1555 or something like that. But right after that, think about it. Right after they started losing their power, to the point where Europeans were able to travel, because before that they couldn't do anything, then that's when a sale, different things happen. If you read this, you guys need to read this book called Timbuktu to from Babylon to Timbuktu. It really is a good book. I think the guy who wrote that book was Rudolph Windsor or something like that. And it's really a good book. It's easy read. You can finish in a day or two. And so what I'm saying to a lot of brothers is that what we are going through is just revenge. Just imagine being in your country being dominated, and it's not even one country, it's probably more, but just being dominated by a group of people who got the power. You have absolutely no power to stop them, none at all. Even in the book it described how the white Spanish kings, knights, would go over to fight the Moorish knights, and they would get killed. And in the book, the king says, stop going over there fighting with them guys, because you're not at their level. You're going to get killed. And he ordered them to stop, because you know how it is. Sometimes you got a white guy want to challenge a black guy and stuff like that, and then get beat up, and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that all black guys can beat all white guys or whatever. I'm not saying that, but you still got that. You got that self-pride that people develop. I mean, it's like in what was that movie? The Transformers, when that first robot came, turned to a helicopter, and you got that big old brawl, and you had, I think his name's Tyrese, and he said, of course he wasn't going to shoot him or whatever thing. He said, just tell him I knocked you out. And the brother looked at him like, huh? And so it was like one of those things. But you guys need to read those books. And in the book, it basically said that the Sultan's brother, younger brother, was jealous. The king found out, I guess, and he went to the younger brother and said, hey, if you help me defeat your brother, I'll give you any land you want. Had the brother said no, United States, all this stuff would have never existed. No, it would have never existed. But the brother decided to get on the enemy side, help, the king. I mean, if you want to talk about the beginning of divide and conquer, that was it. It wasn't during the slavery time or anything. It was definitely the key, the tool that was used to break the 800 rule that those blacks had over Spain and whatever other countries that I'm sure there was in other countries too, and that's what it was, and of course it worked, so you keep using it. What's going on in neighborhoods now too, and but like I said, because of that, it was a request. That request caused it. So we can't, I wouldn't say we can't, but we should point the finger where the finger belongs to it. And it was just that brother, black on black crime. And that was it. That's what led us, that black on black crime that happened. Those two brothers got into a fight because the younger brother controlled half their army and the other one did, because he had everything he wanted. He just wasn't number one. It's like, I ain't gonna lie, like my brother, me and him go through it, and he would tell me straight up, even though you're the oldest, you're not the oldest, you're not the big brother, I am. And every time he says that, I think about and he didn't even really start saying it until, we got over here in Japan, because before in America, we didn't really talk so much. But, or yeah, something like that. Or if he did say it, it doesn't matter. But it was after I wrote the book, then then that's when I started really paying attention to it. And every time he says it, it reminds me of that situation that happened. And it's really sad, because I, for a fact, experienced this family feud, this hatred, or this mass jealousy. I experienced it with my younger brothers. It's like my younger brother, both of my brothers, sometimes we get into it and they get mad at me, and they just don't, because I didn't fight or nothing. And a lot of people call me a coward, and I wasn't a coward. It was just I do everything I have to do to avoid any conflicts with black people, because in LA it really is. I ain't gonna lie, everybody knows this. In LA, it's really easy to commit crimes and not get caught. I mean, it's just so easy, and then sometimes some people don't even care, and sometimes the police, whatever, I don't know if they get paid by solving crimes or whatever, but and so, plus I was the oldest brother. What my two youngest brothers didn't understand was I was tall. I'm sure I was way taller than them. I have a picture where my brother looks like he's like 1/3 is my height, and anyway, he looks like he's 3/4 my height. But we get into conversations about Venice, and he'll talk about how he do this and that and this and stuff. I don't know what problems he had when I wasn't around, but I do know that when I was around, nobody bothered us. I mean, they could talk. People could talk all they want. I don't care. But no one put their hands on us, and and I kept telling him, you still that little kid who's short. You got this short man's rage, I guess. I wouldn't say short man's rage, that's wrong to say. I guess you got your childhood height rage that you bring into your adulthood, but you're almost 6 feet. I think he should be about 5'11" or 6 feet, or maybe 6 feet, or maybe. And I said, you're not short anymore. Those days when you was at Venice High School and Emerson and stuff like that, those days are long gone, but you got the rage plus the size and everything, and it's really, for me, it's just really sad, because that affects the future in our relationships. But the black on black crime that happened, and you can read the book of the Moors, read it. It's in there. I'm just so surprised that none of the black leaders, and I want to go back and really start listening to a lot of those videos that were made by those black scholars, especially the one guy, Gregory, and some other people who were born in the Caribbean and stuff like that, and watch your videos and get some information to see if they mention it. Because I haven't heard anyone say that, hey, we're going through revenge because of what we did to them, up until the mid-1500s, and it was, I don't know, I'm telling you guys, what happened when the king convinced that brother to tear down that glorious life that they had, because he had all the women he wanted, the money, he did anything he wanted. He could do anything he wanted. He just wanted to be number one. And that jealousy caused everything. And what made it so bad was he didn't even get killed. I don't know what happened to the brother, but he didn't get killed. He went to the king and said, okay, I helped you. Well, then you want the king toss him into slavery. And he must have felt so stupid, which, I don't know, maybe he do have an autobiography or whatever, I'm not sure, but it was really, actually it was funny, and the reason I laughed when I read it was because, like, the black people in Africa who help capture blacks and sell them into slavery, and then get drunk, and next thing you know, they wake up and they on the boat in chains with those people they helped capture. And, you know, I mean, if that's the way it really happened, I don't know, I'm just saying based on what I read. But it was just really interesting. But what we need to do is we really need to start understanding that what we're going through is just a revenge, you know, and people do it, you know, that revenge is coming. From right here, you go to Spain and you got them white women out there looking like brothers. You know, every white person that have curly hair, you know, that's an indication that they got some black in them, or whatever, you know, because blacks we're always off the planet anyway. And those, gosh, I hope I'm going the right way, but those, you know, the evidence is there. And we need to understand that what we're going through is revenge. And once you understand, and the reason I say this is because it'll help you understand what's going on. It's not about white people creating a racist type system to keep them up and keep blacks down, because if it really was true, you wouldn't have the billionaire blacks, the millionaire blacks. We would be in just total dominations. There were free blacks in the North. There were some, I'm sure, in the South. You know, a rich slave plantation owner didn't have 100,000 slaves. You know, at one person, he just wouldn't be able to afford such a quantity of whatever, you know. And so so when you think about what's going on, the economics that they built, you know, based on, when you read the book, especially that the one book by Windsor, from Babylon to Timbuktu, it talks how the blacks, once they lost the power, they were leaving to go to West Africa, and the kings of Spain and Portugal realized that they had all of the knowledge, and they stopped them from, they made orders and told the boats not to take them over there, and made them teach them the skills, you know. And it's interesting though, you know, because there's a lot of correlations later that seem to be the same way. But we need to understand that it's not the racism that we're going through. It's not that the white man just decided to go down to Africa and enslave people, because before the Moors went over there, I don't think they had the power, the intelligence, I wouldn't say the intelligence, but the knowledge to even come down and do such a thing, you know. Because had they went down there, you know, that, you know, they would have been defeated. Just like some, you know, if somebody can come to your house and defeat you, then the opposite should be the same. If you go to those people's houses, they will defeat you. And you know, like I said, we're just going through revenge, and once we understand that it's just revenge because of the poverty that was in Europe at the time, that, you know, they had to go through. I mean, it's just like during the slavery times, you know, only the rich whites who had that money were living well. There was a whole bunch of poor people in the United States, but, you know, a whole bunch of white people who were poor in the United States. So, I mean, just like there are now, you know. But once we understand that it's not racist based on they just want to keep the economy, they just want to do this, they want to keep the government. No, it's racism was created so that it would fast track their dreams country, America, to a powerful country. And it took hundreds of years for that to happen, but into a powerful country that where they would be able to protect themselves. And they had to build the economy and all of that stuff, because, you know, you just need that economy. And and I mean, and it's like this, just imagine if blacks were to become, well, oh God, no. Let's say if blacks were to become re-educated again and get this knowledge, because there are so many things out there that could be created, you know, that can turn the tides easily. I mean, easily. You know, a lot of stuff out there. And I'm not saying turn the tides as in take over the United States and put white people in whatever, but I mean, there's things where you can actually probably lead the Earth, if it's possible to lead the Earth. I don't know, because those satellites where they are, I'm not sure if they're actually in space or not, because there's a lot of controversy about that. But let's say if you can go into space or go outside the atmosphere to where the sun is, you know, where the Milky Way is, those stars, wherever they are, you know, we can create those. You know, that technology is in the minds of black people. I'm sure it's in the minds of everyone, but, you know, I know we have it too. You know, you have to have it, you know. And so once we realized that it's not, racism was based, it was in place to prevent what they just got out of, you know, being dominated by black people. It was created to prevent such a time of that repeating itself. And that's all. I'm out. Peace.